Hello everyone, my name's Ian Lonsbury. I'm a Principal Consultant with AppLabs, and subject of the webinar today is the future of testing, and my belief that the future of testing is in the business. The agenda for today is to talk a bit about business transformation and business change, to talk about some of the myths associated with testing, to look at the cost, quality, time triangle and what businesses are trying to achieve and what they actually end up getting most of the time, to look at ownership of business testing and how to set up a business testing capability, to look at the role of IT, because I'm not advocating that IT has no role at all in this, to look briefly at some theory around the V model and the role that the business testing should take and where it should take that role, and then looking at some benefits for a large insurance company, and a quick look at some of the risks of not building a business testing capability. And at the end we'll take some questions. So first of all, I think we all accept that business change, business transformation is required to achieve business change. Business change comes at us at an increasing pace and in increasing amounts. Change in the world is a given. And we all know that change introduces risk to our business operations, and as a result we've got to do something about mitigating that business risk, and testing is the way to do that. Testing is the thing that brings that change and risk balance back into some form of balance. But the only reason we make business change is to achieve business benefits, and the more change, the more transformation we do, the more benefits we expect to realize. So as a result, if testing reduces risk, testing is also a benefit enabler, and it helps us to realize the business benefits we expect from the business transformation and change projects we run. So I'd argue that testing is a business imperative, as testing enables benefits realization. And if it's a business imperative, if it enables benefits realization and reduces business risk, and it supports business transformation and change, then clearly testing should be, in some part, owned by the business. Just want to look at a couple of places where testing has traditionally resided, and first and foremost, testing has been the job of the developers to do unit testing. Unfortunately, developers end up marking their own homework and are often squeezed by overruns in analysis, in design, and in the build process itself. And as a result, it doesn't always mean the best quality is delivered to the business. So the business's confidence in IT and the credibility of the IT organization can be, and has in the past been, affected by leaving developers only to do the testing job. So testing by developers is important, but it isn't enough. A lot of testing organizations sit within the IT department, and IT departments need a testing department to provide independent and objective IT-led testing, specifically for IT projects and IT operations. They often get the business involved, and that's excellent, but apart from providing a clear test process and planning and estimating, it's not the best way to get the business to look at their business process, the end-to-end process. And as a result, although IT projects tend to be developed on time, to quality, within budget more often, this approach of IT testing is all about lowering IT project costs and lowering IT support costs. It gives the business better informed go-live decisions, but it's still, in my view, not sufficient, and so IT testing alone is not enough. I'm getting a question in asking me whether I'm advocating that developers in IT should do no testing, and clearly the answer to that is no. What I am advocating is there need to be clear roles, responsibilities, clear quality gates and quality criteria, metrics and communications between IT and the business, so everyone knows who's doing what, and so there's no duplication and there are no gaps. IT and business have a joint responsibility for testing, but the business owns the final result, so they need to own the requirements, they need to own the acceptance testing, end-to-end testing, business process testing, model office testing, because it's they who will realize the benefits of the change, and I hope that will become more apparent as we step through the following slides. So thanks for the question. Okay, next slide. We all set out to achieve a certain scope at a certain quality from the business change we do. we expect it to come in within budget, and we expect it to come in within particular timescales. Unfortunately, what's traditionally happened is quality's been reduced, timescales have gone out to the right, and costs have increased. And what we actually get as a business is waste. We see waste in the requirements, analysis, design and build stages, and we often end up reducing the scope, delivering less, or phasing a project and postponing scope into later phases. So I believe very strongly that if we're going to address that, the business needs to take up its rightful place and own business testing. Because the business owns the idea and defines the expected benefits, the benefits it intends to manage and realize from a business change or business transformation project. The requirements that define the idea have to be clear, unambiguous, assumption-free and complete. They have to be all those things to be able to be designed and developed against, but also so there's clear criteria for testing. In addition, the requirements need to be risk-based. The business needs to have an understanding of the complexity or size of the change they're making, and what likelihood it is of having an impact on their business, and what that impact on the business will be. In addition, I'd advocate that the requirements have to be static tested. Static testing, reviews, inspections, walkthroughs need to happen in order to drive any defects out of the requirements in the first place, to ensure that they are clear, unambiguous, assumption-free and complete. The business also needs to sign off the functional designs. Our IT departments and third parties verify the design. They